So, welcome back to the Charlie Cook Cricket Podcast. Now, RCB have just beaten CSK in Chennai, and the next 10 seconds is just going to be for the RCB fans. So, if you're a fan of any other team, just skip forward about 20, 30 seconds. RCB fans, oh, are you believing yet? Could this happen? Could this be the year? I mean, two sensational wins to start off. KKR away, CSK away. Andrew, is this going to be the year? Can this be RCB's year? I want it to be. 18 years has been far too long for a side like that not to win it.
Absolutely. When you beat CSK, who before this match had a 70% win percentage at their home venue, like the last time that RCB won a match against CSK at home, it was 2008. So a 17-year drought has been broken today. The sky's the limit. It's a very interesting team. I was kind of saying it before the tournament. I was getting excited for this RCB team. It's been put together right. A load of different elements seem to be kind of slotting into place. They seem to be a well-rounded unit. They're 2 from 2, and the RCB fans will be getting excited now for sure.
Yeah, I would be. I think they should be. I mean, Phil Salt looked great again today. 32 off 16. Virat Kohli a bit slow, but we're going to let him off because everyone else was able to attack around him. All the usual Virat Kohli nonsense that we talk when you think he strikes at about 110. We'll have all of those excuses for him. Padikkal with 27. Padadar, the captain, who's been 250s in a row now, and was something that was a little bit worried with him taking on that captaincy. It seems to not be affecting him with a bat. That's a big role. RCB are a big side, and to captain a team like this, it's going. And then Tim David at the end smashes 3 sixes off Sam Curran. Sam Curran today, who I don't know if you saw it. Did you see his slower balls today?
I saw a couple of them. They looked exciting, but some of them weren't exactly coming out great.
Some of them were coming out at 83 kilometers an hour. I mean, it was slower than all the spinners. I couldn't believe it. I thought, where's he learned this from? I thought, I know he's slow to start off with, but you don't need to go down to that slow. It didn't go well in the end. Noor Ahmed, once again, after picking him to be top wicket taker of the Champions Trophy, absolute stinker of a Champions Trophy, I said, nope, he's not going to win the purple cap. Orange cap, purple cap, isn't it? Wickets.
Purple cap, yeah. Purple cap, orange cap for run. Yeah,
yes.
Run getter.
He's not gonna win the purple cap this year because he had a poor Champions Trophy. He's proven me wrong, and he picks up another 3 wickets to go with his 4 that he picked up in the last game. I just thought RCB looked really good. To score 196 for 7 in Chennai is a really, really good score. That pitch looks like 170, 175 is going to be par for most of the tournament. I did see someone on Twitter, someone from Indian Twitter complaining, how come CSK gets to pick their pitches all the time? And why does that keep happening? I'm like, India did it in the Champions Trophy final. Let's not say too much, okay?
The teams are allowed to create whatever pitch that they can, to be honest. Like the kind of the overarching tournament doesn't. I think Jared Kimber made a point that the team can still create whatever kind of pitch that they want, and I think CSK are still making it's a pitch that isn't going to probably be seeing those big 300, those potential 300s. But I think that's the IPL has that in its locker. I think I'm glad that there are pitches that are still kind of competitive, and you really kind of get the kind of variety, you get the incredible scores that we've seen kind of early in the first couple of games, but then scores like this, it seems to kind of, it evens it out. And definitely, I think looking at RCB, it just seemed measured. It just seemed they were not in problems. Kind of, they had moments where Virat was kind of going a bit slow. He got bounced a couple of times, and he kind of looked a bit rattled, but he stayed in. And then real captain's knock from Rajat Pandya. Insane. I think he has really kind of, that was the worry coming into the tournament, is how captaincy would affect him. And I think he just seems to love it. It doesn't seem to be affecting his batting right now. He seems to be batting with confidence. He seems to be setting up innings for your Tim David. Tim David came in, and I was watching it, and I didn't think it had gone that badly for Sam Curran right up until that last over where Tim David hit 22. Oh, sorry about that. Tim David hit 22 off 8, but that last over 19 runs, 3 consecutive sixes. And that's what RCB, they set up for their kind of big hitters. The Livingston didn't come off today, but he still kind of didn't waste time. So did Jitter Sharma, kind of struck fast, but didn't kind of mess around. And then you got Tim David, who properly came off as the big hitter in that situation. So real measured, really good kind of measured out T20 innings from RCB.
Yeah, and do you know, I think the problem that CSK had today was that they are so used to controlling those middle overs with Ashwin and Jadeja, and they just didn't do the job today.
Mm.
As I said, Noor Ahmed was great, but they have to look to those. And Ashwin 1 for 22 from 2, Jadeja 0 for 37 from 3. They are usually penciled in to go at 8 and over, and we'll pick up 1 or 2 wickets between them. That just didn't happen today. They managed to get away, and the Dhoni stumping is the one thing that I will say. To get Phil Salt was lightningly quick. He is so good, and he is so old now. Like, I'm pretty sure he was around before the English turned up. That's how old he is at this point. And to take stumpings like that, it was just incredible.
He's insane. He just keeps going. And I think the fact that he's just knows his role in that CSK team. And I think they're end of the tournament, they're going to be thereabout. And I think that Dhoni influence is so imprinted on that team now. And yeah, the fact that I think he's never going to kind of lose that incredible cricket mind that he's got. That's never going to be the question mark. It's just obviously some of the attributes, but his performance today, that stumping, as you said, lightning fast. He's produced 2 in the first 2 games. Just, yeah, it's exciting to see him still performing and kind of showing that he can still do it on the big stage.
It was so quick that Phil Salt didn't think he was out.
Mm.
He was like,
Literally, kind of slight movement. Nah, there's no way he's done that in time. Insane.
yeah, I mean, and that's Phil Salt, the wicketkeeper. Now, moving on to CSK's innings, it's kind of highlighted by Rachin Ravindra at the top of the order. Very similar to what he was like in the first game, of not that quick, but wickets were falling around him, and he needed to settle down with the chase. They were just so far behind the game. I mean, Sam Curran gets out at the end of the 9th over, and they're 52 for 4. At that point, they were 4 down and already staring at 12, 13 and over. It just didn't look like that they were going to get anywhere near it. They're still pushing Tripathi at the top of the order. I don't know why they're not opening with Gaikwad, because he's been so good for them. And Sam Curran in the middle order, again, it just doesn't fill me with excitement. I think you've got to pick a role for Curran. 5 is probably a little bit better than him coming in at 7, but because he just doesn't seem to have that power to be able to clear the. I don't know what Sam Curran does, I think is my big thing. I don't know if he can bat 7, if he can bat 4, if he could open, if he can bat 5. I just don't know what to do with him. And because he does a bit of everything, I think that lets him down almost. That he just kind of loses himself as a player. I'm looking from an England perspective, and
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think it's interesting because in an interview he said he feels like his role is defined more at CSK than it has been in England, and I kind of had that interpretation from it. And so I think hopefully as we kind of go on, we can see how that kind of role materializes for him. I think at times he's given a bit more license in this. I would like to see him being given a little bit of license to kind of come up to that number 5 role, to kind of play those longer innings, because I think he's got it in him. I think he really kind of, if you give him a bit of time, that he can develop those innings, can be really, really kind of aggressive at the end there. Yeah. Can he play the role that Tim David did and kind of come in and absolutely destroy it? Yeah, similar to you. It's kind of wait and see how that kind of plays out. And yeah, as you said, they were behind I think Josh Hazelwood he had another decent game, and he's just kind of showing how kind of they took not massive punt on him, but obviously he hadn't played cricket for a while. He'd had an injury, and he came in and kind of took 2 key wickets in his first over. So he was really kind of, it's talk about kind of killing the game early. RCB did that perfectly. And just one of the points that I think is really important to kind of for the I'm going to pronounce his name terribly now. Bruvi, I'm going to say Buvy now because I can't. I'm terrible.
Bhuvaneshwar Kumar.
Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. There we go. Thank you, thank you, Charlie. Because I need to hear someone say it before I say it, or we'll have no hope. But there was, for I think, one of his wickets that he wasn't sure if the batter had nicked it, and there was kind of question marks and stuff. And I was watching the highlights, and then Patter just went, "Yeah, we'll go upstairs." And it seemed to be like the keeper was kind of Dhoni and sorry, not Dhoni. There was a lot of question marks over if they were going to go upstairs, and that was kind of for the third wicket. So a key moment and a key captaincy moment, and really good to kind of see Patiad kind of take that moment and take a moment where his bowler's not sure. And I can understand that from Kumar a little bit, kind of come in. His first game, new franchise, questionable decision. Do I use up the review? But really good to see captaincy wise, right? This is an important moment of the game. There's enough certainty that this could be a wicket. We really kill the game here. Go upstairs, turns out to be out. CSK are 3 down. So I think that moment really cemented for me great captaincy from kind of Rajapatia and great leadership in RCB.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought that the bowling was good. I mean, it was only Krunal Pandya that went for more than 10 and over in the bowling. Just thought they kept it tight and they were always struggling. The only life really that CSK showed towards the end, they rolled Dhoni out. He hit a few sixes, which was nice to see. Is Dhoni the best player at scoring runs when it doesn't matter?
That's a controversial. That's the clip right there. It's getting, yeah, I did see that and I thought, you know what, that's heartwarming for the kind of the sea of yellow that's come here to see kind of excitement from the great man. Yeah, the game was done then, but you never know. It might come back. It might come back to help if run rate comes into it in
So
some
yeah, net run rate. That's what there is no pointless. There is no pointless cricket ever. It did make me laugh actually. Gaikwad said in the interview after the game, he said, "Well, we're just happy that we didn't lose by too much, and it was only 50 runs." Like that's quite a lot of the T20, 50 runs.
It's not the closest of margins in the end. I think, yeah, CSK won't be just at the end of the day. Kind of RCB kind of executed just really well in this game, and I think CSK won't be a couple of question marks over about the kind of middle overs performance, but I think just when you just got to look at it a bit like, right, we're early in a tournament. This team's executed really well against us, but we still believe in a lot of our plans. So I think it won't be too much of an inquisition in that kind of CSK dressing room.
No, I agree. I still like that CSK team. I think they probably just have a bit of an off day with the bat. Wasn't the kind of usual Jadeja Ashwin combo. Didn't quite work with the ball today. That's going to work 9 times out of 10. Go into the next game. You play in Rajasthan in the next game, so that's just a complete and utter confidence builder because you'll hammer them. So that's going to be fine. We could move on to some of the predictions for over the weekend. We're not doing another podcast until Sunday evening, so we'll go through the Saturday and the Sunday games. So we're going to start off with Gujarat versus Mumbai Indians. I'm going to go with Gujarat in this one. What about yourself?
I probably agree. I think looking at Gujarat, that kind of Butler-Gill combination at the top of the order really excites me. They seem to kind of balance their squad really nicely. And then you've got exciting kind of bowling options later. And yeah, I think they look like a nice all-rounded team, to be honest. And I think it's going to be a close one as well. I think Mumbai are still kind of working out a bit what they're doing. But I think, yeah, I would kind of first port of call, I would say Titans for that one.
Yeah, I like both of those teams. It was a bit of a coin flip for me, and I just went Gujarat are at home, so I'm gonna pick them to win it. Next one, we've got Delhi Capitals versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. Sunrisers coming off a really bad loss, and Delhi coming off a really good win. So that one is going to be interesting. Where am I going to go with that? Where is it? Is it at Delhi?
That is the question mark to be.
Is it, I don't know where that is. That's the problem. I think it's.
If it's not the capital of.
It didn't say Delhi, so I'm going to go that Sunrisers are at home.
Right. I think if Sunrise is at home, that'll be an interesting equation. And I think they will be. If Sunrise is at home, if they bat first, I think Delhi will have to be doing something really incredible to pull that off. But saying that, Delhi did something incredible to pull it off in their opener. So I think, yeah, tough one. If Sunrise is bat first, I reckon I would weight pretty heavily on them because their batting lineup is just ridiculous, stacked upon stacked. I reckon they can defend most scores if they get into a good place.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I've actually bet on this game, and I can't remember which side I bet on. So I'm just going to check. Where did I bet on this game? I went Delhi to win, so I'm going to pick Delhi to win. I've obviously needed some reasoning to do that.
I reckon the odds will be kind of weighted against Delhi. So you might.
I think that's the main reason I went to. I could see it going either way. I'm going to take the odds.
Agreed. I think the first two that we've talked about are pretty even kind of two teams. And then the last one we're going to talk about, I think if CSK don't kind of beat Rajasthan, then it maybe kind of thoughts and question marks will be kind of going around the scene.
Does it matter that it's at Rajasthan? Does that make a difference? No.
I don't know. I don't. Unhelpful to our listeners, but I don't think so. I think CSK have a well-rounded squad that they, even on the road, they should win a good number of their games. And I think, yeah, you've got to obviously home and away advantage is massive in the IPL, massive in T20 leagues to adapt your home venue to make the most of your kind of strengths, but I think CSK look well-rounded enough to be able to go win on the road.
Yeah, I agree. That Rajasthan team, I just can't get over how bad it is. I have no idea who I'd fit in the squad. It doesn't help that Sanju Samson's injured, and that no one else is performing with a bad with the bat.
With things, yeah, that's a real tough knot with that injury. Kind of with you kind of always struggling once your leader and you're kind of dominant, the captain that's been there for the last couple of years and shaped that squad is injured. And so it all throws everything into question marks.
Yeah, and the problem is because he's still batting, and then he doesn't come out and captain it. It means that you have to sub him out as your impact player. You can't really go anywhere else. So that causes them a bit of an issue when it comes to the impact sub. I just can't see it getting better. I'm actually at the point now where if they win a game, I'll be surprised. Jofra Archer worries me like hell. Because I think he's either going to go for 80 runs in an innings or he's going to get injured, one of the two.
I really want to see it kind of turn around, to be honest, for Jofra. I think I don't want this to be the start. I don't want or believe this is going to be the start of the decline. I think there kind of other issues around that kind of Rajasthan bowling unit that don't just all focus on Jofra. I think that's probably that's the England fan and me wanting kind of him to have kind of not. Honestly, it was a struggle to watch that Sunrisers match, and it was a bit disheartening to see such a kind of someone who's been so iconic for England struggling in that front. So I really hope that we get he gets a good run of form at some point in this tournament. And the worst that could happen is he struggles and then gets injured from an England fan point of view.
Yeah, I agree. But CSK for both of us, I think we nearly agreed on all of those. Then I've gone for Delhi to be different and to get some value on my bet. I think that's about the only changes that we've made. I think I've
gone for Sunrisers there just because I want to see Ishan Kishan hit another 100. To be honest.
Who is on an incredible run of 100 Golden Duck like that. I'm a big fan of that.
Also, I think Abhishek Sharma is in my fantasy team, and I want him to come good as well. I want it.
He's due. He could be due.
Agreed. He kind of had a exciting first match. Didn't have the best. Well, he's played. They've played 2 matches now. So had an exciting first match, a decent second. Yeah, due a big score. Would like to see that come through. He's going to stay in my fantasy team for the majority of time. I'm at the fantasy league that I'm playing in. I think there's 360 teams, and currently I'm 320th. So not massively filling myself with confidence from my fantasy skills. KL Rahul has really got to start scoring some runs for me, to be honest. So I would like to see him, out of that game, big score from KL Rahul and Abhishek Sharma, and I'll be happy.
I think he's back from paternity leave now, isn't he? I think he had the first game off.
Oh, is that the...
That's why he didn't score any runs. Didn't play in the first game.
That is so poor from me, because it happened. I didn't realize Hardik Pandya. I didn't realize Hardik Pandya had a 1-match ban, so I had him in my first week. So terrible management. Imagine. That's why you won't see me managing. You had to look
at the personal reports rather than the stats. That was the issue.
Terrible kind of man management there from me. It will improve though.
But guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, listening, wherever you get your podcast. Remember to like, remember to subscribe, follow the podcast, leave us a rating, leave us a review wherever you find it best to. Go check out Andrew. All of his links will be down in the description. Andrew, do you want to give yourself a shout out quickly?
Yeah, just anything cut for T20 or kind of white ball cricket, colourblind cricket. I'm really trying to ramp up my stuff on YouTube as well as TikTok and Instagram. So a lot of exciting stuff to come over this summer. To be honest, I'm really in Manchester. It's the 1 in a million kind of sunny days are coming out, and I'm excited to be starting to make more and more kind of cricket content.
It's got to be a tough place to make cricket content, Manchester.
Well, you've got to.
Does it not rain too much?
The good thing is that's when the kind of spoken head kind of content comes in, when I can do it from my desk and have the lovely background, and I can look at footage of games that were happening in sunnier places in the world. That's the key to content creation in Manchester, and then to absolutely go in on those sunny days.
Sounds good. Andrew, thank you very much for coming on. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on Sunday. We'll be back after the double header. So I will see you guys then. Have a good one.